In this video, we're doing an iPhone 17 charging speed test, comparing all the official Apple chargers currently being sold. So for wired charging, this includes the 20 watt, 35 watt, and the new 40 watt adapters. And for wireless charging, this includes using the latest 25 watt MagSafe charger with both the 35 watt adapter, so we can take advantage of the fastest speeds possible, and we're also going to use it with the 20 watt adapter, as that's probably the most common power adapter most people have laying around these days. And we're using the very same iPhone 17 for all 5 of these tests, starting from it being totally dead for all 5 of these tests. And we have no charge limits or optimizations enabled for any of these tests, so the phone charges straight up to 100% as fast as possible for all of these. So guys, something you should always keep in mind when considering charging speed on iPhones is that wireless charging is generally always going to be slower than wired charging. Even though the latest 25 watt MagSafe charger we're testing with a 35 watt adapter should in theory charge faster than the 20 watt adapter we're using wired, you can see that's not the case. At least as of today, the efficiency of wired charging is far superior in terms of charging speed, as with wireless charging, a lot of energy escapes throughout the process, even at those higher wattages. Now this being said, the 25 watt MagSafe charger with the 35 watt adapter isn't that far behind the 20 watt wired charger. So Apple is definitely lessening the gap between the charging time of wireless chargers versus wired chargers, which is nice to see. I think for most people who use wireless charging, if you're using Apple's latest 25 watt MagSafe charger with a 20 watt or above power adapter, that's probably going to be fast enough. This being said, if you use wireless charging and want the absolute fastest charging speeds possible, you will get a little bit faster charging using the latest 25 watt MagSafe charger with a 30 watt or above power adapter, such as the 35 watt adapter we're using in this video. However, again, it's not going to be that big of a jump, especially if you're someone who primarily charges your device overnight. It's not going to matter most of the time. And guys, can you believe this tracking drone fits in my pocket? This is the Hover Air X1 Pro Max, which sponsored today's video, and if you're a content creator, filmmaker, or just someone who loves to document life on the go, the Hover Air X1 Pro Max is going to be a game changer for you. It can effortlessly capture the moment on video at the drop of a dime in just about any environment or scenario. It has over 15 auto flight shooting modes designed for capturing adventure, sports, and casual content. It can shoot 8K video, it has a follow speed of up to 26 miles per hour, and it has multiple precise tracking modes such as follow mode, cycling mode, skiing mode, indoor follow, and more, so you're fully equipped to capture any type of content possible. I took it out on a run and I was very impressed with the beautiful footage I was able to capture, with quite literally just the tap of a single button. The subject tracking was undoubtedly what impressed me the most. It features collision detection and an omni-terrain function, which allows it to intelligently move through any environment flawlessly. It also features 4K 120 frames per second slow motion capture, which makes for beautiful tracking shots. You could also choose to shoot in either horizontal or vertical format, depending on the type of content you make. I also found using it indoors quite useful too, as it can function as a camera person following you as you move without having to do anything. You can also use the Hover Air app on your smartphone to monitor what you're capturing in real time and to manually control the drone and the camera settings if you want more granular control over your shots in real time. The most impressive part of the Hover Air X1 Pro Max for me is how it can go from a small folded up device in your pocket to mid-flight capturing 8K video tracking a subject in less than a minute. So if you're looking to take your content creation to the next level, click on the link in the video description down below to check out the Hover Air X1 Pro Max. And you should act fast, as Hover Air's holiday sale is now live. Until December 30th, you can save up to 34% and get a free battery with your purchase. Huge thanks to Hover Air for sponsoring this video. And in terms of the wired chargers we're testing in this video, you're not going to notice a drastic speed difference there either. I think for most people, a 20 watt power adapter is going to be more than fast enough. This being said, going from a 20 watt adapter adapter wired to a 30-watt adapter wired does offer a noticeable jump in speed, but it's nothing earth-shattering. The difference between the 35-watt adapter wired and Apple's latest 40-watt adapter wired is very negligible. I certainly would not recommend buying Apple's latest 40-watt fast charger if you already have a 35 or 30-watt adapter, as it's just not going to give you that much of a speed boost at all. It's also definitely worth noting that when observing iPhone charging times, the charging speed always slows down towards the end of the charging process, and also you can see that the difference actually levels out towards the end of the charging process as well. Towards the beginning of the charging process, you're gaining a lot more percentage over time, and you're able to see the advantage that the higher wattage chargers have in comparison to the lower wattage chargers. But towards the end of the charging process, as you get closer to 100%, not only does the charging speed slow down, but a lot of the seemingly slower, lower wattage chargers end up catching up with the faster, higher wattage chargers. So in terms of real-world advantages, it really just depends on if you're somebody who often needs to get a quick charge in the middle of the day to get your phone from a lower percentage to something in the middle or higher, as having a faster, a higher wattage charger can actually be quite useful for getting a quick boost in. But if you're charging it all the way up to 100%, it's going to matter a lot less for the total charge time. As again, you can see towards the end of the charging process here, the final charge times for all these chargers are surprisingly closer than what you might think based on how things were towards the beginning of the test. So guys, at the end of the day, for wired charging on the iPhone 17, as long as you have a 20-watt or above adapter, it's probably not going to be worth going out and getting a higher wattage adapter just for the reason of charging speed. And for wireless charging, using Apple's latest 25-watt MagSafe charger, again, as long as you have a 20-watt adapter or higher to use it with, it's probably not going to be worth going out and getting a higher wattage adapter for the reason of speed. But if you're one of those people who wants the absolute fastest charging speed possible, making every second count, of course you will see a little bit of an advantage going for a power adapter higher than 20 watts. And guys, that just about wraps it up for this video. Let me know down below in the comments what charger you're currently using. Thank you all so much for watching, and of course, as always, I'll catch you in the next one.